Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Inside G2E. Brady Cannon here with you on SportsGrid as we continue our coverage here live from the Venetian Expo Center in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, G2E 2025. And we keep running across fascinating people in this fascinating industry. Our latest guest to join us, Dustin Gouker. He is the founder of The Closing Line. He's a journalist. He's a writer. He's been all over the place as far as social media, the print media. You may know him. He's been around for over a decade covering this industry. Dustin, thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers. Thanks so much for having me.
So tell me, I've been familiar with your work for a while now. Like I said, we were talking here before we came on air about I've seen some of your work online. You do some newsletters. Give me the scoop.
Yeah, I mean, I started off as a journalist. I went to school for journalism. I worked at the Washington Post out of school, worked at newspapers for a long time, and then one day started working in online gambling industry. 2015 was part of a team that started covering the rise of daily fantasy sports. DraftKings, FanDuel, when they were getting really big, pre-sports betting, worked on a site called Legal Sports Report, which still does a relationship with SportsGrid, but started doing that, and I covered that industry as it kind of exploded. Sports betting came a few years later in 2018, started covering that. I was at the Supreme Court actually covering the case that ended up giving us legal sports betting. Worked my way up a company there that did affiliate marketing and news content. Was a VP of content, left about 3 years ago. Didn't know what I was going to do. Started a newsletter kind of as a side project. I thought it was just going to be a personal blog. In the last year, I've started doing it daily. I write every day. I'm trying to write here. I'm not succeeding all the time, but I write all the time about what's going on, mostly just on online gambling in the United States here, everything that's going on around that. I aggregate news in the world. I give my takes on what's happening in the news. Sometimes I break news. This year, the prediction markets are the big thing too. I started a second newsletter called The Event Horizon, where I just cover granular developments and what's going on legally and regulatorily around prediction markets, Kalshi, Polymarket, things like that. So I didn't have a great plan of where I was going, for better or worse, but I turned the newsletter into a business. It's also a funnel for me to have consulting work. I put my stuff out there. People find me. I'm a thought leader in the space, I think, and I work with lots of different interesting people in consulting too. I work for the Massachusetts Gaming Commission as a consultant for a year. I work with a lot of startups who are trying to navigate North American space, and I love my job, I love what I do, and I get to work for myself.
What's your best area of expertise where you could maybe really be of value to a company that's looking to start up in some sort of form of gaming?
Again, I've been doing this for 10 years, so I just know a lot of people. Putting my name behind something I think means something. So many times I run across people, I already subscribe to your newsletter. I know who you are, I love your work, and it makes it really easy to do that. So everything under the sun, lead generation for companies, you're trying to navigate the North American space and you're not familiar with it and all the intricacies of what's going on. I can be an advisor and help you navigate that. Again, Massachusetts Gaming, I work with regulators both on, for free and for money, and they contract me to we want you to research this topic and tell us more and talk to our commissioners about this topic. It sounds weird to say anything, if you find value in what I do and my name and again, my experience in the industry.
Well, your knowledge.
Yeah, and I try not to limit myself to just one thing. I'm an SEO guy too. I did affiliate marketing through sites that, we're doing a lot of business for online sports books and online casinos here in the United States, and I can do that too. I obviously build my own newsletters, but somebody needs help with building a content strategy, I can do that too.
All right, so here we are on the floor at the Venetian Expo Center. Let's write our own little newsletter right now. What's the really exciting topic in your mind that's happening right now or on the horizon or yesterday or what have you? What's the hot topic?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of an echo chamber, but because this is what people come to talk to me about is prediction markets, which are 50 states. You can now bet on some apps that, just like you do in a sports book, you can bet point spreads, you can bet totals, you can bet some props.
And the big question is, how is it different from a sports book, right?
It's definitely sports betting. It's different in that, it's federal.
The legality and everything.
Yeah, we're working through that in the court system right now. Is this going to continue to be federally legal? It is right now as we sit here. But it is you're betting against other people. You're betting sometimes against market makers who are kind of like the house in DraftKings. So it's fascinating because this didn't, when we were here last year, nobody was talking about this. It was not happening. They just, Kalshi had just started offering election betting early October last year. Sports betting started happening more December, January, February, and it's now like, at least in my world, like this is all I talk about really, is like, I talk about other things too, but like people come to me like, what do you know about this? What do you think is going to happen? And sometimes I don't have great answers because it's so disruptive right now with all of this. But like, is it,
and so brand new too, right?
Yeah, and like people want to know, is this going to impact the biggest companies in our space like FanDuel and DraftKings? Will this continue to be legal?
What's your answer to that?
I have no. It's a coin flip, man. I don't know. It's hard to know exactly what it's going to look like here. It's going to take years. It'll probably get to the Supreme Court, just like sports betting did in 2018, is my guess. And a lot of people's guesses. They think that's going to happen eventually. Until then, we're all kind of guessing. Polymarket is not really in the US.
Polymarket is ProfitX another.
So they're a sweepstakes prediction market, but they are a prediction market too. They're not regulated federally. But like Polymarket yesterday raised $2 billion at an $8 billion valuation. They don't even make revenue yet. They partner with the New York Stock Exchange's owner. Like, this is a hugely disruptive market right now, and industry, and it like impacts a lot of the people who are here. And I did a panel earlier today on this topic exactly, and I don't always have good answers. I can tell you what I know and what I think, but they're just educated guesses at the end of the day of where this is all headed. So
yeah, it's pretty wild. We're talking ProfitX and Polymarket and Kalshi you mentioned. It feels like those are three big names that I recognize.
Yeah.
How many of them are there that are kind of on the surface right now?
I mean, there's going to be more. Crypto.com is mostly a cryptocurrency exchange. Started offering sports contracts, actually end of last year or into early this year. They actually partnered with Underdog, who I'm sure you recognize, and is a big player in the fantasy space. They're now offering sports event contracts, sports betting in 16 states, and there's going to be more. Like DraftKings and FanDuel, they have a tough decision ahead of them. There's regulatory concerns for them. There's concerns with working with tribes in California. Will they end up getting into this? I think at the end of the day, they're going to have to figure out how, because people are looking at this as like, what are you going to do? How are you going to react to this? You can't just cede this market to these first movers and who are prediction markets. And it's a fascinating question, game theorying it out, how it's going to all go. It's what I spend a lot of time thinking about and talking to people about.
Yeah, it is really fascinating, and I had forgotten about that. When asking what's the hot topic, that's definitely one of them. And I've seen some comments from some operators. In your opinion, is this going to affect regulated legal sports books? Are the prediction markets going to impact that quickly?
Quickly, I don't think so. I think there is going to be some erosion in current states where there is sports betting, but it's a different product and not as good of a product in a state like New Jersey or even Nevada, where you have online betting through sports books. Like, getting those customers over to Kalshi or a Polymarket or anything else is not necessarily an easy thing. It's you're getting bonuses, not so much in Nevada, but other states you're getting bonuses and promotions that the prediction markets can't really compete with. So, but it does. Right now, I think it's mostly an unregulated state product. That California, Texas, some of the biggest states that do not have sports betting, I think they're probably doing really well. They market that to those states specifically in terms of trying to capture share, and I think that's the easiest lift. And again, they're doing hundreds of millions, billions of dollars a month in terms of turnover. It's kind of like handle in sports betting, but not quite. It's gotten quite big, and once basketball season, the hockey season picks up here, it's going to be even bigger. And it's again, it came out of nowhere. Nobody saw this coming, and one day, suddenly we have 50 states sports betting, everybody 18 and over, and everybody's scrambling trying to figure out what that means.
Well, where can we scramble and find your newsletter, The Closing Line? Is it theclosingline.com?
I work on Substack, which is specifically for newsletters. So closingline.substack.com, daily newsletter. I do a little bit of a podcasting too. Yeah, you can find me there. I'm on Twitter, Dustin Gouker, LinkedIn, all those things.
Very good. All of the above. Dustin Gouker, he is the CEO and founder of The Closing Line. Check him out, theclosingline.substack.com. You can subscribe and get his twice daily newsletter. Dustin, thank you so much for joining us here.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.